You don't need a New Year's resolution to get your health and fitness in check. Taking care of our bodies is something that we should do every day of the year and something that we can learn as a child, as a young age. But do we? Dr. Joey Skelton with Brenner Children's Hospital joins us on 2 Wants to Know to take those first steps to choosing a healthier lifestyle, and he's taking your questions. So this is your chance to ask those questions that you always want to know about, but you can't get those answers to. This is how you get your text question to our expert. It's 336-379-5775. Remember, this is a text only, so please don't call. All right, so first and foremost, let's talk about COVID, weight gain, fact, and fiction, because I think the fact is that we got the weight gain, most of us, and we're thinking it's never going to go away.
Yeah, and it is actually true. I think on the whole, especially in children, that we're seeing some research coming out, as well as in adults, that there was a weight gain during COVID. Some people, it was COVID-19. Some people have called it the COVID-19. And I think this is mainly being a little less active. I notice that myself working from home. I'm walking less between meetings, and also sort of that exposure to the foods that we have at home. I've heard this from kids all during COVID is normally they're going to school and eating lunch, or they're packing their lunch at school, and at home you sort of have constant access to it. And I also think it was just the stress of COVID and being quarantined at home and for so many months not seeing people. I think all that sort of added up that had an effect on our weight and had an effect on our bodies.
All right, so we can get back to that normal routine, but that is what you're saying is you just need to get back to a routine.
Yes, it's all about the routine. And we see this almost every summer, and we see it going into fall. When we come into summer, we're excited, we go on vacations, and we kind of get out of that routine that we had when we were in school or our sort of normal work habit. So during COVID, it's been that we've been sort of off of our routine a little bit. So now that kids are mainly back in school, we're starting to go back to work some. And even if you are still working from home, try to keep that routine, still treat it, enjoy working from home, that you have the opportunity to run some errands or receive a package at home when you're there. But it's about trying to keep that routine, planning. Plan what you're going to have for lunch. Don't just walk down and see what you have in the fridge that you're going to eat.
Okay, now that sounds like almost too simple, right? Just plan and get into a routine. But actually meal planning and prepping and all that kind of stuff, if it was simple, we would all do it.
Right. It's, the concept is simple, like you said. And I remember there's a saying that said for every complex problem, there's an answer that's easy, simple, and wrong. And so it isn't just as easy as saying, hey, go plan meals. And there's kind of a stepwise to it. The first thing is you got to see it. I cook all the time. We love to cook. But if you tell me to name 10 recipes that we cook on a regular basis, I might struggle. But if I go to this folder that we keep that has all the recipes that we like to cook on a regular basis, there's about 100 there. So part of it is sort of being able to see it, write it down, see if you have those things in your home, see if you need to go to the grocery store. One thing we always tell people when they're starting to cook more from home, just plan on having a second trip to the grocery store that week. And so it's all about planning. Use your calendars. Things do best when you plan ahead.
Okay. So this person is asking a question. They're saying that they're very overweight and they're wondering what is best. Is it low carb or is it counting calories like 1,500 a day?
I think one of the first steps that I would make is not necessarily, I usually don't like to start just with sort of thinking about calories. It's almost sort of like a watch pot never boils. We do know that when it comes to weight loss, that diet and nutrition tend to be a more important factor than exercise for weight loss. Now, exercise is good for us, period. I would never tell anyone not to exercise. But for weight loss, watching what we eat is a better option. Keeping that weight off tends to definitely involve exercise. And so to sort of answer their question, what we like to say is I would think more about how you eat before you start talking about what you eat. And so how you eat. Eating 3 meals a day, maybe scheduling a snack, planning your meals ahead, making sure that you're eating without distraction. You're not eating in front of the TV or eating at your desk, but trying to eat and pay attention to your meals so you can enjoy your meals. When you focus first on how you eat, which tends to be when and where you eat, then you're ready to start making changes to what you eat.
So that's interesting. So it's kind of like a step. Instead of doing like everything all at once, just doing the how you eat, where you eat, when you eat kind of thing, and then kind of go from there.
Absolutely. I would get in that routine of eating 3 meals a day, maybe a snack if you go long periods of time between meals. Planning what you're going to eat, making sure that you're paying attention to what you eat, you're mindful of what you're eating. Sit down, have a meal. If there was one public health campaign that I could get behind, it would be the idea of having family meals, eating with other people, eating with the people that are closest to you. Not only does it improve the food that you put in your body, it improves the communication, happiness for kids. They tend to do better in school. Overall, we do better when we can have that sort of family time around a meal.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. Already we have questions about diet drinks and if it's harder to lose weight after a certain age. We're going to tackle both of those and more. You can continue to send your text questions 336-379-5775. We'll be right back.